Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to the game, welcome to the game. I'm new as well. I just started digging into this a few weeks ago, and I'm having a blast. I put out a video a couple days ago, a starter's guide, and this is a follow-up video to that to go over some additional tips. Also, I'm going to do some summons and have some fun. There is a lot to discuss here, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I had mentioned a video that I put out a couple days ago. It's really a starter guide of some tips, some tricks, and some codes that you can use in the first few days of the game if you're a new player. That's going to help you start off strong and move quickly through the game. There's so much to do in this game. It helps just to kind of focus a little bit. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up to it right over here. Also, if you haven't downloaded the game yet, go ahead and use my QR code up there or the link in the description below. You get 2 free epic characters. You get Tagore and Ugo. Ugo you get on level 15. Tagore you get right off the bat. Great epic support characters, and it's going to help you start off your beginning team. You also get some additional resources, and in this game, resources, not just this game, but turn-based games, gacha games, resources are always very limited. So whenever you can get free resources, they definitely come in handy. So, all right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into some of these tips I was talking about. Like I said, new to the game, playing for the past few weeks. I've dabbled in the game off and on over the years, but really never too deep like I am now. So I really needed to seek out some resources and to understand the game, the characters, the dungeons, because in these types of games, resources are definitely limited, and you want to make sure that you use them in a smart and efficient way. So I went out just to learn a little bit about the game. So one of those resources I want to share with you, I'm sure you've heard of Hell Hades. Hell Hades has this website here, and this is the tier list on the website. You can actually create an account and upload your roster so that you can see who you have and where they're rated. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to clear this all. I'm going to show my champs here, and then it's going to show my roster and who's good. So you can see here I've got some 4s and 3.5s overall, and where are they good at? All right. Tier list always subjective. I'm sure Hell Hades has a team working on this as well, but there's always there's a way to kind of check the work, so to speak, and also take a little bit of that subjectivity out of it. So if we go into raid, let me go into here. Let's just take Frozen Banshee, for example. One thing that is in this game that I appreciate that not all games do have, but I appreciate it when it does get added. You get player reviews here. So when we take a look at her, Demon Lord is the clan boss, right? 4.9 out of over 29,000 ratings. So then we check that against Hell Hades' website. Let me go ahead and type in Frozen here. Boom. There we go. 5 on clan boss. So that adds up. So that's pretty good. Just a way to check a little bit so you know who you want to put your resources into. Another thing that I use Hell Hades website for is the promo codes. You go into here, you scroll down a little bit. You got new player promo codes here. In that video I mentioned, I talked about using Monkey King, Monkey King as the very first code, because you can only use one of these codes. If you use one, you can't use the others. So Monkey King, definitely the best one to use. That, again, is going to help you build that starter team. He's great in Arena. You watch the video. He's got some, he's got a pretty cool kit and some sheeping. I also found that you actually turn into a sheep. That's pretty cool. All right. So lists and active codes here as well, but you also have time limited codes here. So you can definitely use those to get those resources. Remember, you can only use 1 code per day. So just take a look at what you get and use the best code that's going to help you for your needs at that immediate point in time. All right. When we talk about promo codes, easy for the PC and for Android, but for iOS, not so easy. You go to an external site. Plarium has this site here where you just enter your player ID and the promo code and you hit confirm, and boom, it shows up in your inbox. So it's pretty quick, but definitely save this. I'll put this link in the description below so that you can go to this and save it into your browser. All right, so there's a couple resources. Another resource that I've watched, I've looked at and watched a lot of content creator videos. There's a lot of tips and tricks and stuff out there. One guy that I really like how he delivers and the tips that he provides is Ash. One thing I learned from Ash is when we're taking a look at farming, so this game is all about farming as well. All these games are farming resources. Silver is used to upgrade your gear, so your artifacts, your accessories, things like that. And even though I have 3.79 million, I could go through that in an instant. So if you want to farm for silver, we go over into the campaigns, and any one of these stages, you want to pick the highest one that you have unlocked. We'll just pick 12 here in stage 3. The reason for that is because you're going to get shields. Shields offer you a little bit more silver when you sell them than the other pieces of gear. So just to kind of show you what that looks like, let's jump into champions. And then let's go to sell. And then I'm just going to scroll down here really quick. So this shield here sells for 84.38. The hood, 63.28. The gloves here, 71.72. Obviously, the higher the rarity, the more that you're going to get when you sell. But look at this one right here, 11.250 for an epic there. So if you're going to farm for silver, definitely farm that third stage of the highest stage so that you can make the most of your time, your energy, and get as much silver as you possibly can because you are going to need it. All right, next. In that video, I mentioned about staying away from tournaments and events and things like that. As you go through the game, go through the campaign, learning the dungeons, arena, all that stuff, you're going to naturally complete some of those things. So watch for the red dots over here, over by tournaments and events. There is one tournament that you definitely want to make sure that you complete, and that is a beginner's tournament. So when you first log into the game, you've got that beginner's tournament there. Definitely go ahead and complete that. The team that you get, and again, I'm going to say it, if you don't have the game, go ahead and use QR code or the link in the description below. You're going to get a couple great support epics as well as some resources to help you build that team like I was talking about. And it's going to help you get through campaign pretty easy. It's going to help you finish up some of these events just kind of naturally. And like I said, the beginners tournament, you're going to be able to complete that pretty easy as well. All right, so that's beginners tournament. Let's talk about masteries. One thing that I haven't paid much attention to is masteries, and I really need to because they are important. If I go into here, masteries down here, these are like skill trees. So you use scrolls in order to unlock them. So I got crit rate plus 5% here. Some of these other ones increases the damage inflicted by this champion's default skill by 2%. Over here in support, you got this one here. Increases the base stat set bonuses of all artifact stats that increase base stats by 15%. So you've got some cool bonuses that you get from masteries. One thing that I learned is by clicking on this and hitting get all scrolls, it's 800 gems to get all the scrolls that you need to complete a mastery. And the reason why you want to do that is because I'm understanding that the mastery grind is pretty intensive. And what I mean by that is if we go all the way out and we go into dungeons and over to Minotaur, this is where you're going to farm the scrolls. Where'd the Minotaur go? Boom, right here. And so we're going to farm these different scrolls. As you go through this, let me just go into here and let's throw everybody in there. As you're completing these dungeons, you're getting scrolls, but you're only getting scrolls for one hero. So it may be beneficial to use 800 gems to purchase all the masteries, because what's going to happen is, let's just say I'm going to run with these two. I'm going to farm the dungeon and I'm going to run with just these two. If I've maxed out Skeletor's masteries, the only hero that's going to get mastery scrolls is going to be He-Man, because if you have maxed masteries, you're not going to get scrolls. So it's a way to kind of mitigate and control who's going to get the scrolls, because again, I hear it's a pretty long grind. I haven't really messed too much with it, but I need to, because obviously stat boosts, skill upgrades, things like that are super beneficial as you continue to build your roster and move through the game to be able to get through the harder content in the game. So definitely that. And the last thing I want to talk about before we do some summons is this right here. So your playtime rewards, 180 minutes, and you get all these different resources. Definitely beneficial. These Plarium points come in handy as well on the PC client. I play on the PC client as often as I can and get these additional rewards here. But you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can play 30 minutes here, an hour there, 45 minutes there. Just as long as it's completed in that day, then you'll be able to complete that and get all those resources. Because again, resources are absolutely key in this game, in any game like this, right? All right, so those are the main things I wanted to share with you. some additional tips that I learned as I'm just kind of working through the game, some additional resources that hopefully are helpful for you as well. Let's go ahead. Let's have some fun with some summons. We get an extra legendary one here. I don't have enough here. This extra legendary, I think you have to do a certain number of summons, this mercy system. Yeah, after 200 summons without a legendary, then you get like a plus 5% increase for ancient and voids. I really don't have enough summoning crystals to really take advantage of that, but let's see what we get. See if we get anybody good here. We got a bunch of rares. Oh, hey, we got an epic. Who did we get for an epic? High Catan. I hear High Catan is pretty good. I think after 30 days you unlock her. So that is very cool. I'll have to do some looking at her kit. Boom. All right. Before I do too much more and run out of space, we're going to... Let's see. Let's do some of these. Some void shards. I want to get to those ancients, but I'm running out of space to hold some heroes. Bloodborne, I hear you want to hold on to your void heroes as much as you can as well. Come on. Will I get a legendary at all? That would be cool. Legendaries, it seems, are difficult. I've opened quite a few shards. And the only legendaries I've gotten are Skeletor, He-Man, because I paid. Skeletor was free. Another epic. Ethan the Golden. I don't know how good these characters are, but... Another rare. All right, all right, all right. So those are voids. Let's go ahead and pull these sacred shards. And then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'll save some of those blue shards. Who's this? Berengari. Look at that. Look at the skulls on the shoulder. That's freaking cool. Two more. Oh, first one. Is she good, though? Morgaine, hold on. Hold on. I don't know if she's good. Do you guys know if she's good? That's my first pull. Let me see. How do you spell it? M-O-R-R. Overall 4. Good for Hydra and Amius. Arena, Doom Tower. Nice. All right, all right, all right. And another epic. Not sure about this guy, but I will do some looking. Well, there's 834 reviews. Looks like an overall 4 for the most part. A little higher than, 4, 4.2. Very cool. If you haven't downloaded the game, if you want to help support the channel, use the QR code up there or the link in the description below to download the game. Again, thank you for that if you do, because it does support the channel. And you'll get 2 free epic supports. You'll get Tagore and Ugo. Ugo you'll get at level 15, plus you get some additional resources, which, as we've just discussed, are super beneficial in this game. All right, and there you go, everybody. That is what I had for you. Some tips that are hopefully helpful. If there's tips that you want to share, definitely put them in the comment section below so everybody benefits. We're all learning here. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I've got plenty of videos coming up, but this is fun. I'm having a blast with it. As always, everybody, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.